Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Missed you guys. I missed you so much. I miss talking to my audience. This is something I love doing, but because of circumstance, I don't like complaining. In fact, let's jump right into the video. Back to my country. No, you know that's the new slang now. Japa things. People japa outside. We japa back. Yeah, after 8 years, and somebody will say 8 whole years. Anybody that will say 8 whole years is probably in Africa, because anybody in diaspora will know that people stay 15, 18, 20 years before they travel home, and these circumstances anyway. Like somebody like me, we planned traveling before the COVID, and the issue was that I renewed my passport, my Nigerian passport. So we had done everything. So we're just waiting for them. Usually it doesn't take time. Waiting for them to bring my passport. Do you get? So, but it didn't come. Then when it came, was the COVID was already, so we couldn't travel. So we saw it on a brighter side that probably God didn't want us to travel, because if we had traveled, when we wanted to, we would have been stuck in Nigeria, during the COVID. And so we just saw it that God just used that to delay us, from traveling before the COVID. Yeah. So since then we've been planning. You know how it is now. We've been planning off and on. And this year we decided that we are gonna travel. It's been a long time. Is this the travel is highly requested, both from my children and from my father, even my mother-in-law, and it became somehow to me. Honestly, times I don't like, when my father calls me and say, and how about the children? Because immediately he asks her about the children. The next thing is you don't want to bring them. Same thing with my mother-in-law, same thing with my children. They always want to travel to see their aunties, their cousins, their grandmother and all. So for my first son is 13 years, and since I had him, we've not traveled. He has not traveled, so yeah. And that was why we decided that this year we are going to travel, because every time they say don't travel, Nigeria is bad. When is it going to be okay? So we decided this year we are gonna travel. God will lead us and God will bring us back, and I'm grateful to God that we went and we came back safely. That is to make this video, but before then I want to show you, there was nothing like vlog, honestly. I just wanted to have the very feeling of the fact somebody have not traveled in 8 years. So I just wanted to leave myself to live my life and enjoy the whole thing. Do you understand? So, but we took some pictures, videos, which I will share with you. So we traveled to Nigeria. We got to the Spanish airports. Our kilo usually passed a little bit, but there was no stress, no challenge. They allowed us everything. Like you can see, we had already checked in our luggage. You see how happy we were. No stress, nothing, until it was time for us. So we went in. We got to Nigeria. So I didn't tell my kids anything. I just wanted them, because I know they are very observant. My children, they are kids that when they observe something, most of the time they want to say. They like asking questions. I think it's a general thing with kids anyway, but yeah, my kids are like that. So when we got to Nigerian airport, I now said, how can a whole airport like this? He first of all said, this place is hot. And the next thing he said, how can a whole airport that is this hot have one fan, one big fan? I said, that is Nigeria for you. My interest was to hold them, because my sister already called me and told me to hold your children, because outside is rowdy. When you've not traveled for a long time, obviously things are going to change. So before we got out, she had already called me, tell me, hold your children very well. So when we got out, we saw, and they were just looking, because everywhere was straight to them. A lot of people were outside, changing. They had the naira, in case you want to exchange, you want to change, dollar or pounds or all those things. They were just asking me, children now. So eventually we got to my sister's place, and my children were surprised. They were like, do you have places like this in Nigeria? I say, yes, that's one of the reasons I brought you. And my sister's husband, you can imagine, I met him once, before they got married. And since they got married, I've not seen them. And my sister's husband gave us the best time of us. We were just enjoying. Even though we spent few days, we went cinema, went to Nigerian, Chinese restaurant. In fact, we had fun. We had fun. They made sure we had fun. So after we spent few days, we went to the east. Up NEPA, down NEPA, generator everywhere. One of the most emotional moments thing was when my children saw my dad. We didn't tell him, And then we did not tell him that we were coming back. So we wanted to surprise him. We tried, but the problem was that he was sleeping when we got home. So by the time he woke up, when somebody is sleeping, he wasn't sure who they were, that kind of thing. By the time he woke up, he now discovered. So it wasn't really it was a surprise, but not that the way we planned it, where our plan was that maybe he would be in the sitting room watching telly, we'll now barge in with them and see what his reaction would be. But that didn't work out the way we planned it. But yeah, it was emotional. They asked him a lot of questions. At least they felt him. He prayed for them. Anytime he eats, he wants to give them, all those things. And when we were leaving, that's another moment again for us. They will go, he will call them back. He didn't even mind me. He just saw me that time. And we gisted, I saw my sisters, I saw my brother as well. Yeah. So it was emotional. My father didn't want them to go. But I was happy, he saw them. He was excited. It was an achievement for me. It was the feeling. I can't explain the feeling, and him too. My father was so excited. He was so full. Even when we came back, he was telling when he called my husband, he told my husband, if you see the inside of him, that you know that he has added more years. Yeah, back to our place. I keep calling it my husband's place. We saw my mother-in-law. I took my kids. Sadly, it was a very short visit, but well, at least we went, So I took them round, showed them. My father-in-law is late, so I showed them. I shared some memories, when I lived with them. I stayed with them when I got married. My husband traveled. I stayed with my parents-in-law for a year plus. Yeah, before I came. So I shared some things. I took them round. Yeah, they spent time with my mother-in-law, and then we saw my husband's sister, their aunt, for them. She discussed with them. And then drag us then he will go. Okay. No, from where we will go to the next door. So this place is good. Okay. Yeah, Daddy. But I know not them. This our picture.
This grandpa.
Handsome, eh? Look at his nose.
He looks like me.
Huh. Hey, look at this other sister. And the husband there.
And this?
These are just immediate generals.
Due to what?
Sickness. Papa, look at grandpa's wedding.
Okay. Grandpa's wedding? What?
You saw our own now. You saw my daddy's own. Hey, I wish him in a video.
I am still doing it.
No, not this one, my father's. I'll tell uncle to do it and send it to me. Oh, archive.
Does he know how to? Does he know how to?
Who? Uncle. They saw their cousins as well. I have this my friend. I think I've mentioned her on this my channel. We've been friends since secondary school. So we went to her place. She had her children almost the same age with my children. They met new friends, even their neighbors, all of them, their kids, they just came around. It was fun there as well. So when we were coming back, my children felt bad. I thought they would want to come back. Oh, I'm not joking. Did I mention that I took them to the market? Whoa. I took my children. Yes, I took them first to ShopRite. And it wasn't strange because it's something, ShopRite is closer to what we have here. So it was kind of an exciting thing for me to take them to our local market, the very local market. They were going, they almost knocked my son down. These truck pushers in the wheelbarrow, some of them will not make heaven. They will be telling you, Ozo. They are telling you, give way. It's not that you should give way, it's that they are quacking you already. So they almost, that one of the traders there almost beat the hell out of the guy. So yeah, I took them to the local market and we made sure in that local market we bought all those food that we've not eaten in years. I made sure they ate it. Ubemba. I know a lot of people have not tasted ubemba. Even me, even when I was in Nigeria, ubemba is not something that that comes like that. But we made sure we ate ubemba, we ate okwa, we ate akede, What again? All those things we see here, we didn't even bother. It's all those ones that we've not tasted before. I make sure they tasted it so that whenever they see it, it will not be strange to them. We had a lot of local delicacies, and my friend, she doesn't like at all. So we had the most exciting time. Honestly, we had the most exciting. When we were going, my kids were crying. I thought they would be in a hurry to come back. No, they were excited. Now, yeah, because I allowed them to see every aspect of Nigeria. There are things they didn't like, obviously, but they enjoyed their stay. I don't know if it's because our stay there was short or not. There are places they complain, maybe because of light. But anyway, that one thing I discover, if a country can have light, good health, yeah, basically kids when they travel they will enjoy it, because whenever we are around where we have steady light, steady water supply, and the environment is good, they don't complain. All the places we went to that we had steady light, they never really complained, and they complained of mosquito as well. It's not something they are used to, but in general it wasn't really what I expected though. So we came back, brethren, at the airport, at the Nigerian airport when we were coming back. Hey, these people stressed the hell out of us. I thank God I wasn't putting on anything on my. If not, I would have put my week off because they stressed us. I told you when we were coming, the Spanish our kilo passed, but they didn't stress us as much as Ombre. Even when we were coming at the airport, they were asking us, what do you have? They will see crayfish that they know. They will do something that will make you stressful, that you have to give them something that will allow you to pass. But after we entered the flight from Nigeria, even while we were coming back, we left our bags in Nigeria because of kilo. So we had to put everything in Ghana Must Go back, a lighter bag. Do you know, with all the Ghana Must Go we had, when we passed all the airport, Spanish airport, nobody, not one. We passed security agents, but not one. With the Ghana Must Go, all the Ghana Must, no one stressed us. They just allowed us to pass. But the Nigerian airport, look at the way we went and look at the way we came back. We were stressed. But I thank God. Everything is the package, in fact. It's the package. I think this is one of the things that can, when I remember to travel, not the experience in Nigeria, is that airport thing. Another thing I observe, you see security. And Nigeria needs to do something about the security. Do you know, if you're very familiar with the East, do you know from Okigwe it's just 1 hour. From Okigwe, do you know how many checkpoints? How many checkpoints we have to pass? And all of them, you have to give them money. No, that one is story for another day. Let this video not be too long. So my message, my brothers and sisters in diaspora, like I told you, wanted to travel before, and because of COVID, we didn't travel. And there wouldn't have been any much stress. It would have been maybe the next year or the next 2 years we would have, planned to travel. But we keep checking. And that is one of the things that keep people in diaspora. Maybe when you have a project in Nigeria, you check how much you buy your ticket, and how much, if you use that money and put in your project, and how much it will, the level of the project, or something. When you think about what you do with that money that you used to, buy the ticket, you just say, let me just stay abroad. I'd rather send money to my parents. But no. Let me tell you something. There is a verse in the Bible that said, a friend that is closer is better than a brother that is far. When I traveled, that was the verse that recalled to me. Especially if you live in a country that you find it difficult to bring your family, like your mother, like in Spain. If you don't have their Spanish passport, you cannot bring your mother. And that's one of the things I dislike about this country. Like, you have your children, your mother cannot come for more, even if it's 1 week, and you will stay, you will leave, you will not see your parents. Do you understand those? That's one of the things. So if you live in a country that you find it difficult to bring your relatives, it's very, very paramount. And for you to travel, don't stay too long before you see your parents, because you speak to them on the phone. You don't know, when you travel, you see that they have changed. Really. That I'm so glad to see my father. I had to cook for him. I made sure I cooked for him. There are things we don't take important. Money is not everything. There's an Igbo adage that said, they go Allah. Money, pounds, euro, naira. They have not done any meeting to say this is when we'll stop existing. So as long as you have life, you you have the resources, no matter how small, make the most out of it. Is very important, except you have the means to bring your parents, over, that you can stay with them for some time. This is what I think, this is one of the things they need at their age. They need money, they need more of care. They need you to see, what's going on with them. They need to talk to you. There are things they might not even want to talk to you on the phone. It's better you come and see them. The blessing that comes with it. You might think, we went and wasted money. Yeah. When we were coming back, I saw one guy, he told me how much he spent. I just removed my face, because if I tell you how much we spent on this travel, during the holiday season, like June, July, August, September, even to August, the flight ticket is very expensive. Talk less of the local flight. I know how much we spent, but up to now, the joy I have, I've not even sat down to check how much we have spent. Do you understand? But I'm so fulfilled. I'm so happy that we made this trip. I saw a video of travel. Her father was sick. At least she tried and she traveled. She saw her father. The father prayed for her. Do you know, barely a month that she came back, the man died. Imagine if she had not traveled to see the father. The pain would have been different. The pain that she didn't see this man before he died, it would have been a whole lot issue that she would be dealing with. Do you understand? So I have come to, I told someone that I'm on an evangelist. I'm telling my brothers and sisters in diaspora, it's very, very important. Unless you don't have your documents. But if you do, and you live in a country that you cannot bring your parents over, it's very, very important that once in a while, even if you're scared, and if your parents can come to the Lagos, it's very important you go see them, talk with them, let them pray for you, care for them. That is what they need at this their old age. Care for them. Anything they want, if you can afford it, give it to them. It's more. There are things we do that is beyond the money that we give them. That is one message. Another thing, if you're in diaspora and you are a working mother or a man and you work, I must tell you, like, 100% that most people in diaspora that work and they don't have social life. Punto. That is the truth. Most of them, they don't have social life. It's just work, take care of children, come back, work, take care of children, stay at home, rest, just like that. They don't have social life. So it's very, very important that even if you take your holiday, you stay at home and rest. That one is different. But there's this needed something different about leaving the country that you are to air your mind. I am telling you now from experience, there's something leaving your environment. Like when I traveled, I won't say I rested per se, because we were always on, because the visit was short. We left from Lagos to Owerri, from Owerri to this place, from this place to this place. So there was no really time for us to relax, but we did have time to, rest a little bit. But when I came back, I felt so refreshed. You will know, you will feel it, that this is something that you really need. But most Africans, I must say, this white that always say if you work and you need that 1 month, they know what they're saying. But Africans, we don't see it like that. And these things has a way of extending your lifespan. It has a way of airing you. Just experience, just try it once. If you're the type that you work and you stay at home, you work. There was actually a colleague of mine, that asked our boss one day that obviously that when you travel is your vacation. When you come back, you're paid. So he asked our boss that he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to be going on vacation. If he can be giving him extra money, like if you're supposed to pay him a 2,000 euro, can he just add, maybe 500? Then he'll stop going for vacation. Can you imagine? They are always thinking of money. But it depends. Sometimes it depends on the problem that you have. But life will duplicate. There's no duplicate. There's like enjoy life. Air your mind. And I noticed that the more you stay outside the country without going home, there's a certain way some of those people think. They start thinking in a certain way. They start thinking like life is just let me live, eat, and all those things. No, there's more to life. And this thing you start understand. No matter how much I say it now, some people might not understand. You experience it yourself. So 2 messages I have, my brethren. Always try and visit them as much as you can. It's very, very important. The joy, the Bible said grandchildren are, I can't remember it again. Even before I got married, what I used to, That's what I used to have in my mind is when I get married, if I'm going to stay in Nigeria, that's in maybe in months I'll take my children back to, to my parents' place. We'll stay stay on a round table and we'll eat with them, because I've always known that this is the joy of old age. This is what they enjoy. Do you understand? But we don't get that because we live, very far. And once in a while, take a time off to travel outside your country or far from where you live, and stay away from work and all those things. If is stay away from if you come back, you know that this is exactly what you might not know until you experience it. When I came back, I felt like air entered my brain, my whole body. I felt refreshed. Like I said, it's not like I really rested though, but when I came back, I felt refreshed. I felt fresh. I've spent so much time on this video. Well, that that my videos are not usually this long, but this is something I felt that needs to be said. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you stay to the end of this video, and for the people that keep asking me when are you coming back, I'm back by the special grace of God. I'm back. I'll be trying, even if it's once. I'll be putting up something by His mercies. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very, very soon in my next one. Bye.